The finalists of the last season, Desert Vipers, win by 6 wickets, ensure they end the league stages on a high and also ensure that they do not end up last on the table. Too many starts for the batters when it came to the Vipers, but didn't quite kick off to a significant score. Junaid Siddiqui, of course, showed some aggression for the Warriors. Nathan Sauter and Matish Patirana, incredible 3 wickets each. The Vipers, when it came to their batting, great start, and Phil Salt and Alex Hale cruised to victory. Once again, the Desert Vipers ending the league stages on a high. Now, when we take a look at the leaderboard, we have the 4 teams that have made it to the playoffs: My Emirates, Gulf Giants, Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, and Dubai Capitals. Joining us on Cricket Safari, these 2 gentlemen, absolutely so kind, Darren Ganga and Simon Dewell. Well, men, thank you for protecting me from this rain.
Somebody's got to do that, Tammy. You're holding on to everything. You can't hold an umbrella as well. And the sooner we get out of this rain, the better, I think.
Now, well, the Vipers also held on to what they had last at the end to get out on a high. Absolute clinical victory for them. Yeah, it was.
It was a good performance to finish the season on, I think, and one they must have needed and felt they needed as well. They hadn't been at their best. They had a huge contingent of Pakistan players at the start of the season. We thought they looked like a very strong side. Maybe that shows the quality of the tournament. And just the lack of intensity maybe at the start of the tournament has really cost them. But finishing on a high, they'll have a good debrief about it tonight. And as Colin Munro said, get back to the hotel, maybe have a small celebration about tonight's win, but look harder at what they need to do next year.
Absolutely. And finishing on a high, of course, player of the match, Nathan Sauter. 3 wickets really coming on top out for his team.
Yeah, he'll take that effort and he'll use it going forward in his career. He picked up the number 3, number 4 and number 5 batters, and it came at crucial times. Martin Guptill was one, and most of the batters were trying to play across the line of the ball, not making good contact. He was very good to recognize that the pitch wasn't bouncing that much, so he opted to bowl a straighter line, just held that length back a fraction, which induced batters to go across, and it really paid dividends for him as a bowler. So it's not only about skill, it's about assessing the conditions, and if you look at his lengths, it's to the shorter side of that full length, where he's recognized that pulling the length back slightly because of the lowness of the bounce was the way to go. And he picked up the Player of the Match award. So great to see a cricketer like him thinking on his feet and getting the right result.
Getting the right result. Matish Patirana, you could see how satisfied he felt every time he got those wickets, and even though they didn't really make it to the playoffs, he knew what this meant for the team. Yeah, and genuine pace. I was really impressed with his pace tonight. A couple of balls over, or 2 or 3 balls over 150 kilometres per hour, particularly that last one that cleaned up Adil Rashid. He gets those Yorkers right. He's very difficult to play. We had a great description of him tonight, how low his arm gets right in front of the umpire's chest, basically. And when you look at this action, it's so unorthodox, but it's very difficult to pick the ball up. And Darren just talked about the lower bounce from the spinners. When he just misses his length, it still skids through very low. So the Yorker and the full length ball becomes very difficult to hit from Patirana's point of view. When he nails these Yorkers, he's so difficult. And because of that low slingy action, he gets it to tail, even with a newish ball. He doesn't need an older ball to tail the ball back in a little bit of, it looks like reverse swing, but it's just because he undercuts it with his action that it actually tails back into the right-handers and away from the left-handers. So impressive from him tonight, and he's still a young man. And he's still got a long way to go. The accuracy will come as time goes on, as it did with Lasith Malinga, but there's a lot to like about Patirana. There is a lot to like about him. And when it comes to the batters, we did see that they got off to a great start. When you talk about Salt, they knew and they were ready for this.
Yeah, that's typically how Salt and Hales, they play. With aggression, they put pressure on the opening bowlers, and they're boundary hitters. So especially if you're chasing a middle-in total like they had to today, if they get off to a fly, they put on 50 in quick time, it really pushes the opposition on the back foot. Bowlers are unsure as to where to bowl. What I like about it is they calculated in the way they attack the ball. They hang back, they cut off the stumps, and then they expect that other delivery to be a little bit fuller, and they're well prepared to contend with that. So there's a method towards their attacking nature at the top. I mean, unfortunate for Alex Hales, the times that he fired didn't really lead to wins for the Vipers, but I think to finish on a high will be a little feather in their cap going home from this tournament.
And also a bunch of sixes in that innings as well.
Yeah, we haven't seen many at this ground, strangely enough. I mean, the 7th match, and it's the least number of sixes we've seen at a venue, considering around, what, 23 balls, 24 balls for a 6 here. Much more was expected. And again, it just shows that this pitch is a little bit trickier than what you see on the surface, and it's a little more challenging for batters.
Yeah, and some big sixes as well. That one, the biggest of the lot, they got Alex Hales the award for tonight, 109 metres. So hanging back, I think, is the key. Assessing the length quickly and being able to get under the ball. Going down the ground and at the ball has proved a little bit difficult at times, but hanging back and being able to get under any sort of a length delivery, that seems like it's been the key, and they did a great job of it tonight.
And the Warriors always should have been worried about Alex Hales, and he proved once again why he's so good in this format.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he's a high-quality player. He's played so much cricket all around the world. He's a World Cup winner, of course, from England's point of view. He's decided to step away from any England duties after that World Cup and just plays these leagues around the world. And he's sought after at the top of the order because he can get you off to great starts. And, you know, he's got big boy power. He's a big, tall lad, powerful lad. And when he gets going, he's very difficult to stop.
When we talk about the Warriors now, what really went wrong for them? Didn't quite really get it started. Some of them got decent scores, but no one really kicked off to put it solid out there.
Yeah, we keep talking about those 3 matches that went down to the wire of the last ball. Of course, they won that game when they played My Emirates, courtesy that 3 runs from Shaheen Shah Afridi. But beyond that, the other 2 against the Delhi Capitals, that would have sort of taken the wind out of their sails, so to speak. 2 wins in those 2 matches against the Capitals. It could be this team, the Warriors, qualifying for the playoffs instead of the Capitals. So that's the volatile nature of T20 cricket, and it's just that they haven't been able to hold their nerves in critical moments in the T20 match.
And I think if you're the coach, I mean, last year they sacked their coach after finishing second to bottom, so Johan both would be feeling a little bit nervous, I would imagine, because they finished bottom of the table. They sacked Matt Maynard last year, maybe looking for a new coach next year. Not sure what you're doing, Darren.
Well, who's available? But now we're getting to the business end of the tournament, if that's even a way to say that. But on the other side of the break, take a short break, we're going to talk about the eliminator, Sikandar Raza taking on Sunil Narayan. That's a lot to come up your way. Welcome back. Now we're going to look ahead at the eliminator that's coming up. This is the 3rd and the 4th place on the table. The Abu Dhabi Knight Riders taking on the Dubai Capitals. Now that's Sunil Narayan's Abu Dhabi Knight Riders taking on Sikandar Raza and the Dubai Capitals, of course, the captain Sam Billings. Now when we talk about Dubai Capitals, how crucial is Sikandar Raza's performance going to have to be?
Yeah, he's a brilliant player. I think what he's done in the last 2 or 3 years at international cricket and these leagues around the world as well, he's a sought-after player, bats, bowls, very, very good in the field, leading candidate for the red belt, for the MVP of the tournament. And to me, he is just one of those genuine all-rounder cricketers. I think, Darren, he just gets the best out of himself. I think that's one of the things I like about him. Trains hard and he gets rewards out of that.
Yeah, and it's not only the 263 runs on the wickets he's taken in this competition. For me, it's the attitude that he brings to a side. That willpower to succeed in desperate situations. As you saw there, 6 runs to win off the last ball. Maybe the destiny of his team in his own hands and him being able to deliver. He's a big match player. And I said it before, this guy was in contention to winning the ICC T20 International Player of the Year. Just missed out to Surya Kumar Yadav, but that's how consistent he has been in this format of the game. So it's not surprising that he's been able to dominate and single-handedly pull this Capitals team.
And when we come talk about the Knight Riders, Jason Roy, how big a big match player is he?
Another one, international player, England player, of course, in the past, sought after top of the order batter. We talked about Alex Hales. Well, Jason Roy's as sought after when it comes to these T20 leagues around the world. And he hits the ball all around the ground. He's got a good game against the spinners. I think he's very aggressive against the seamers, which I love. And he puts the bowlers on the back foot. It's one of the great things about Jason Roy to me. He goes at bowlers. He's not afraid to be aggressive right from ball 1. And I think that's something that I like about his game. He's brought a lot to the Knight Riders. There's been a few guys who've come in late in the tournament and had an instant impact for a few teams. And I think he's certainly one of them.
Absolutely. And when you talk about Ollie Stone as well, he's one of those guys who came in and made an impact right away. 4 wickets in the first game.
Yeah, he's been able to bring that penetration that was lacking in this side. The way he bowls, I mean, he's got pace, he's got accuracy. For the Capitals, they lack that penetration at the top and through the middle, and he's brought that. So he's able to put opposition batters on the back foot because of his wicket-taking ability. He finishes a lot of his deliveries on the stumps, and that skill to seam the ball, Simon Dool, so useful in T20 cricket.
Yeah, I really like what Ollie Stone and Scott Kugelheim have brought to that outfit, actually. They seem to have really found a seam bowling combination that's working well for them. Ollie Stone with the genuine pace, Kugelheim with a little bit of movement and some real aggression as well. Sam Billings' captaincy, it just puts them just on the top for me above the Knight Riders. I think the way he's captained the side and led that side in the last couple of games has been really crucial to what the Capitals have been able to do.
I think form as well. Let's not forget that. They're coming off a few wins. In contrast to what we've seen from the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, they've lost their last 2 matches. So let's see how they feature in this must-win game.
Where would you say this match will be won if you had to point a finger or something?
I still think the bowling groups win you the games. Yes, the batters need to put runs on the board, but tight bowling and quality fielding. And I just wonder, to me, that's where I've got the Capitals a little bit in front of the Knight Riders. I think they're a crack fielding outfit, and they've got that bowling sorted now with Ollie Stone and Kugelheim. The spinners have been great for them. Double Z's been really good for them in the last couple of games. So to me, I think I've got them just ahead.
Yeah, I'd say Knight Riders too. I like that little wheelie combination, the Rhine. The fact that they only won 1 game last year, and now they're in a eliminator, so...
The West Indies sticking together, eh? I mean, I know we've got West Indies jackets on and all that sort of stuff throughout the tournament. He's standing by them, isn't he?
Well, I always know you guys are going to be waiting to see how these jackets turn out, but that's all we have from the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. We'll see you at the eliminator.